Hey, Matt. Munchie.
I'm not sure how I got you up here.
I don't know how I got it up here neither.
Munchie's going to be joining in a few minutes.
Do you want me to drop out?
It's up to you. I mean, we're going to be talking about Bradley Close in a few minutes.
All right, I'll drop out, and when everything starts, I'll
All right, no
come
problem.
back in if you want me to.
Yeah, we'll start in about 5 minutes.
All right.
All right.
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo. Hang on. Let's see if I want to put my camera on or not. Why not? Okay, I'm here. Hi, everybody. There's only 8 people in here.
8
8.
right now.
We need more people. Yo, yo, yo. Man, it's hot. I seriously want out of Arizona. I want out.
I can't relate. What is this?
7 people. Hey, everybody. We'll get more. Here, too. Guys, this is a missing person that's not really getting the coverage that he needs because he's been missing since April 8th. He just kind of vanished. In Arizona.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Need more people.
Y'all. Yes, please. They're also, the videos are also on the TikTok page. I don't even know what to call it, the page. And you can share it, as well as everything else that's there. Hi, Nina. Thank you. And we got our mods in here. Oh, there's Peppy. Peppy!
Hey, Peppy.
I'm a mod. I'm in a good mood. Rare. Just kidding. Just need to get more people. I guess I could start on something, but this is, let me get rid of, I don't think I can get rid of comments. This is Bradley Close, and he has been missing since April 8th. He worked at a Fry's grocery store, which is kind of, what is it? It's owned by Kroger. So he was working at Fry's, walked out, left his phone and everything in his locker at work, and disappeared. He has not been seen since. And the only information that I'm getting is off of what's on the internet, on the news stations, the silver alert that was put out. We have not spoken with the family, which we'd like to do. And if anybody knows their family, we would like to talk to them. So, yeah, we want to get him out here. He is autistic, so he is an endangered juvenile. He's been missing for way too long, and he's not getting any attention. I want to see if I can put another picture behind me. Give me uno momento. Okay. Of course, it doesn't show up. There we go. Okay. But, there he is. Oh, look at me. I'm big. Yeah, it's not, let's see. There's more pictures of him. Let me just, there's more pictures of him. I don't know where these pictures were taken, but he is missing from Peoria, Arizona. We can't see the chat, so Matt, I'm going to put you back up.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's weird. We sound like robots. Do I sound like a robot, or is that Matt? Yeah, you guys, please share his flyer. It's on Missing with Munchie. It's also on the Missing People Alert page. If you guys can share it out, it would be much appreciated. Because, like I said, he is not getting the attention, and he's an endangered juvenile due to him being autistic. You can't. Okay, I'm sorry, Peppy. It's very hard to see it. But, yeah. Matt's good at all this stuff. He's good at shrinking the flyer. There we go. Much better. So this is a silver alert. It is not an amber alert. Well, yeah. He's 16 years old. Can you see it now, Peppy? Awesome. So you guys, if you can either screenshot this, share it out, share the videos, it would be much appreciated. Yeah, they've been searching for him and they still have not located him. He was last seen, it was 75th Avenue and Jomax in Arizona. I have the... And what concerns me is where he was last seen, there's a river that's called New River. I don't know that, Peppy. Like I said, I'm only going off of what I'm seeing on the news reports and his Facebook page. I have to do more research, and I apologize, but we want to get his face out there. Like I said, he's not getting the attention. And if you're in Arizona, please share this. If you know anybody in Arizona, share it. Facebook, X, whatever it is, Twitter, Instagram, and there are more. There's Facebook posts. There's more pictures of him. And that's all we're asking. We're going to be doing more research, see if we can get in touch with the family, find out what's going on. And then we can give you some more information. But like I said, I'm going to repeat myself. We're trying to get his face out there, his information to Arizona, so everybody can keep an eye out for him. And like I was saying, where he was last seen, there's a river. And I'm hoping that they checked that river. It's called New River. It's on 75th Avenue and Jomax. But I do know that they have been searching according to the news reports and everything. I just wish I had more information to give you guys. But we will find it. We will get it. And I don't know what else to say. Also, Matt, I also want to mention, I keep repeating myself. I want to mention Mercedes Vega. We are still getting the word out about her. Is there a way you can put up her picture? We also need her flyers. Whoa, her flyers shared. There she is. Every time I see that, I just want to cry. Thank you, Peppy. I don't know if you guys.
Hold on.
Okay.
Peppy, you might want to leave for this one.
Well, I mean, yeah, Peppy, that's up to you. I'm not going to go into everything. You guys can watch the YouTube video. You can watch the videos that are on Missing People Alert page. She's all over Facebook. We have to get a word out about her too. Just to give you a quick rundown. And Peppy, close your ears. Okay, I love you, Peppy. We'll talk later. Mercedes was abducted from Tempe, Arizona, from her apartment complex in Tempe. She was found 63 miles away in Tonopah, Arizona, in a burning car off the side of the road, off of the I-10 freeway in Tonopah, which is just, it's all desert. There's nothing there. Hi, Blue Jade. And they just released the 911 call. A trucker happened to see the car burning on the side of the road and called it in. And they had found her body in the back of the car when the police came out. Her car, which was in the garage when she was abducted, was found someplace else. The car that she was found in was a salvaged title car. We're trying to figure out how that was obtained, or law enforcement is trying to figure out how that was obtained, because it was registered to an insurance company. They've already interviewed the previous owner, and they have no idea how they got the car. And we're also just waiting for more information to be released. We're really pushing for law enforcement to release the information to the parents. If it's not to the public, at least release it to Mercedes' family so they can see if they recognize anybody. There's footage from where her car was found in Tempe. I'm really angry about this case, if you guys can tell. Just nothing's being done. The people that are out there did this, and they're still out there. So all we're asking is if you guys can please share this information. Please share Mercedes' story. You can go to the Missing People Alert YouTube channel. It's an hour and a half interview we did. They were also on Nancy Grace.
2.5 hours.
Huh?
2.5 hours long.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
No.
Well, if you have time, if you got the time. It was a good interview. Bring the tissues. What else? I forgot what else I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. But yeah. So if you guys can please share. AI voice, exactly. Matt.
What?
Love the voice. You're funny.
Oh, you know what? I honestly did not realize that was turned on.
Actually, I didn't even know I didn't have my volume up. Is there anything else that we can cover real quick?
Oh, Erika.
Erika, this is Mercedes' mom. I am so glad you're here. How are you doing? Erika?
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Everybody, this is Mercedes' mom, Erika Pillsbury. And I'm surprised. I'm so glad you're here. Have you heard any new information?
Yeah, we have heard a little bit. They're trying to ask us to keep a couple of things quiet, but they've got some information that they believe is going to help them. They haven't told me exactly where they got that information, but with the help of the FBI, they are going to be able to do some advanced testing.
Good.
Wow.
I'm so glad that they are telling you what they're doing.
Yeah, me too.
That's good. Has the bringing awareness to this, has that helped at all?
Absolutely.
Good. I'm glad, because we are sharing this out as much as we can, doing as much as we can. We need justice for your beautiful girl.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think about you all the time, Erika. You and Tom.
Thank you. Yeah, we are hoping, it does take a while, this advanced testing. The FBI has access to it. It's not, I guess, necessarily available to all law enforcement in Arizona. They had to have been approved, and the state of Arizona approved that those extra funds, and it should be enough information for good cause and hopefully an arrest.
Oh, good. I pray for you guys and Mercedes every single day. We talk about you. Matt and I, we talk about you all the time and see if we
Every single day.
Every single day. So we are getting the word out there for you. And, we saw your Nancy Grace interview, and I'm so glad you were on there. Really.
Well, it's because of people like you and the attention that it's getting that I believe we're getting somewhere. Otherwise, I believe it would have just been swept aside and
Forgotten about.
forgotten about. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, guys. my Life 360 is going off. Yeah.
Now, have they said any more about camera footage being released from the culinary dropout?
So when I spoke to the investigators the other day, that camera footage from the culinary dropout is something that they're holding on to, still kind of close to the vest. But the 911 or the body camera footage should be released at any moment. It could be released. Unfortunately, they have to do a lot of editing on it, so you don't actually see her burned
Oh my gosh.
in the in the footage. So they have to go through and make sure that it's safe enough to release to the public without being offensive. And but hopefully, and that is the body camera footage of the officer or officers walking up to the vehicle that she was found dead in, that she was burned alive in. So fingers crossed, somebody might say, "Oh, I recognize that," or "That's weird. I wonder what happened to that 2018 Chevy Malibu that person had."
Right. Yep. Have they said how or are they looking into how that car was obtained? The Chevy Malibu?
It was a salvage title.
Right.
Yes, I'm sure that is it's something they're looking into. As far as what they know about it, they haven't shared that with myself or Tom.
I did see a video or an article saying that they interviewed the previous owner and they have no idea how they got that car.
Right. That car had been towed and considered totaled.
Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. Matt, I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, the car had been towed and considered totaled. So our assumption, and this is just an assumption, is that it probably had not been fixed, so it probably had some damage on it, which may also help for someone to say, "Oh, wait a minute, I have seen that 2018 white Chevy Malibu with that front, fender missing and those things," or especially someone who works at maybe a salvage yard, seeing it come in, seeing it go out, it somehow disappearing. Thank you for your thoughts and prayers, Blue Jade. I really appreciate it. And we appreciate all it. We wouldn't be able to get through this without the support of all the incredible people throughout the United States and places all around the world that have reached out to us and given us just a little bit of hope and a little bit of peace, knowing that sometimes when you're so wrapped up in this awful, awful pain, and you find there's so many awful things in this world that it's so beautiful to see the people that reach out in kindness and caring. And it makes a difference to us, even if they're not able to do anything but just share or just let us know that they're there for us. It certainly has given us some strength. So we appreciate all of that and all of the support we've received from all of you. People that have supported us have just been absolutely incredible.
And we're not going to stop until we get justice. And ever since we posted this flyer, it's gotten over 119,000 views. a lot of I don't know how many sheriffs we had, but there's a lot of sheriffs out there, and you have a strong army behind you guys.
No, we feel that army behind us. Sometimes it can feel absolutely hopeless, especially after 13 and a half months and everything that she went through. Um, but having these people, these incredible people that listen to these podcasts and pay attention to what's going on and sharing, especially, has, like I said, really, really helped us get through this. The one thing that we did hear from the investigators the other day when we spoke to them, under the Arizona felony murder rule, that everyone involved has the potential to be charged with first degree murder, premeditated murder, kidnapping. So that silent witness number, the 480 witness, or the 480 vestigo in Spanish, if you just happen to be a person that was maybe working at that salvage lot or near that salvage lot or had seen that car somewhere, the best thing for you to do is call, because that is something that is completely anonymous, and you cannot be charged with just being involved. Obviously, if the murderer themselves calls, that's probably a different story. But the car had no license plate, so that might be something that people might think, oh, that's weird, that car has no license plate.
How are they able to drive around without a license plate and not get pulled over?
Well, I don't know. It may have had a temporary tag on it or a stolen temporary tag on it. So I don't know if the car itself was stolen, but the tag, the temporary tag, or the license plate may have been. And people aren't going to look twice at that. Obviously, an officer will if they look at it and go, that's a truck license plate, not a car license plate. But it wasn't registered to anyone at the time, except that it had been a totaled vehicle. So I mean, even if any, between Mercedes vehicle and the route that goes from between her place on Washington to behind the culinary dropout on Farmer Avenue, I know most Ring cameras have overridden themselves, but if you have the ability, going back and looking for her white 2019 Dodge Charger with the LUV 333, or a 2018 white Toyota Camry that most likely has some damage to the front of the vehicle, right around that time, could be a huge, huge lead. And there is, like I'm sure you've mentioned, a reward involved.
Yeah, silent witness has a reward, and then don't you have another reward?
We have about around $16,000 that we've added to it. We're asking people if they'd like to continue to contribute to it. Some of that money was used for her cremation and a couple other things, but it's probably closer to 13,000. But it just keeps going up every day. And that's on the GoFundMe for Mercedes Vega. But anywhere, like I mentioned, between the Aubrey, which is at 1003 West Washington, in Tempe, to where her car was found on Farmer Avenue near Mill, behind the culinary dropout, either one of those vehicles. And like I said, as far as that camera footage, they have not mentioned that they're going to release that, but that Camry was the car that was found on milepost 85 and I-10, which we now know, due to the 911 call, that the car wasn't on fire, but my daughter's body was on fire.
Oh,
in the back of the car.
So it was inside the car.
The gentleman driving the truck stated that he could see something on fire in the back seat of the car and a person walking around the vehicle. And that we now know is the 2018 Camry, white Camry.
Mm. And that the 2018 white Camry was a salvaged car?
Yes.
Okay. So it was a Toyota Camry.
Toyota Camry, a 2018.
Okay.
We believe with front end damage.
Yep. I saw a picture of the car, and the front driver's side was damaged.
Yes.
How the heck did they drive it? Unless they fixed it.
It's a possibility that it could be fixed. There's obviously some sort of connection. Not sure what. Oh, you're right. It is a Malibu. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I keep saying Camry. It's a Malibu.
The 2018 white Malibu.
Yes, I apologize. Yes, and it looks like when I'm looking at it, it's the whole. Yeah, I'm looking at it real close right now. Yes, definitely a Malibu. You can see that the engine was probably damaged, but maybe it was still drivable to an extent.
Mm.
But it was definitely the driver's side.
Do you know if there's more footage in the apartment complex garage
There is more footage,
Okay, all right, cool.
but I have not seen it, and they have not shared it.
Yeah, and they're still investigating. It's still considered an open case.
It
Correct.
is.
Okay, good.
It is. They won't release it as a cold case, even though by law in Arizona, after 12 months and 1 day, it's supposed to be considered a cold case, but the MCSO has the ability to override that. Even if we can see any other footage on what direction the vehicle comes in or how many people get out of it, if anybody has that, anyone who maybe lives near 6th Avenue or Farmer or the Aubrey, or we believe that those cars, that her car, her 2019 Dodge Charger and the 2018 Chevy Malibu, yes, again, I apologize, I was saying Camry, it's a Malibu, that if they're seen in any way following each other on Washington or on Mill or over the bridge or near where the tram runs, all of those things could be extremely important.
I really hope it's not too late to get footage because I know it's been over a year.
Yeah.
It's now one thing that I've always, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, but do you know if that car, the Malibu, was in the garage and they transferred her to that, or did they transfer her to the car at Culinary Dropout? Do you know that answer?
I do know, but I'm not allowed to say.
Okay. All right. Okay. I understand. But at least you know.
Mhm.
And yeah.
My assumption from what I get from the surveillance that they do have down by Culinary Dropout is it's a lot of shadows, and the car is parked in the middle of the road.
Her car?
No, the 2018 Chevy Malibu. It's not in a parking spot that had expired. It's in the middle of the road.
Wow.
So
Now, the 911 caller said they saw one person outside the vehicle on the highway. Do you think there's more than one person involved?
absolutely, there has to be more than one person involved.
Yeah.
There's 2 vehicles being driven. There's the people that killed her, the people that lit her on fire, the people that moved her car. And some of these could be the same people, the people that hit her over the head.
Yeah.
And I also don't know for sure, and this is something that I have not had answered, if the car was dropped off. Her car was dropped off in at what time? I don't know if it was before or after she was dead. I'm not sure. We don't know the answer to that.
So the video footage that was taken when in the garage, what time was that?
9:15 p.m.
And then the 911 call came in at what time?
I'm gonna have to look at it, but I'm gonna say it was like 12:59, almost 1 a.m.
Yeah, it was about 1 a.m. there, I believe.
So about what happened between those 4 hours? What happened?
Yeah, we know it takes about an hour to drive there. So
I really think that she was fighting for her life. I really do. And they couldn't take it. I don't know. Do you feel that this is? I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going. We've been questioning so many things, like theories, but
Do you think that it might be somebody that she knew or that she was close with, or somebody that she turned down and they try to get revenge?
I think it was someone who she was associated with, not necessarily in any way close to.
Right.
She may have been close to someone that they knew. And there may be a person out there who isn't even aware that they were the one who gave away her location and when she was leaving. I just encourage everyone to, think back about, obviously, you don't always remember who's in your surrounding when you say something such as, oh, Mercedes is going to come meet us here. But if you were part of any conversation that involved her name on that night at that time, I would just really encourage you to think back and think, did I say it out loud? Did I share it? Was it a group chat? Was it something that she shared that has more than one did she share it on someone's Instagram and other people had seen it? Anything that you said or might have been aware of on what Mercedes was doing that night, please call silent witness, because every little bit of that can help.
there's been a lot of confusion about her saying that she was going to Dave and Buster's, and then she was going to work. Which one is it?
So after Maricopa County Sheriff's Office stated that she was going to work, they retracted that statement and said that it was one of the things that she said she might do. But when she would go to work, she wouldn't get dressed up to go to Dave and Buster's. She would have been in pretty much sweats and a t-shirt and flip-flops, and would have had her things in her bag that she was going to change into with her heels or this or that. She wouldn't have been in a t-shirt that was tied up with tennis shoes and jeans on, because she's obviously, if she was going to work, and she did say to someone, yeah, maybe I'll come by and we can smoke a J. But she wasn't planning on working, but maybe that is them confirming that she was planning on going to her job. And that those were the people around that knew, because her job was only 3 minutes away from where she lived
Okay.
by car.
Yeah, and when she was leaving, she was wearing jeans and tennis shoes.
Yeah, she's ready to go somewhere. She's not going to work. I mean, she may have been stopping in and being like, and she even said at one point in a text, maybe this is a sign I shouldn't even go out because I can't decide what I want to do. And then somebody suggested, well, why don't you come by, smoke with us real quick, and then I can tell by what she was wearing that she was going to go to Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, she wasn't going to work. She was going out with friends.
Yeah. I mean, she may have been stopping by work. That is a possibility, and that might be MCSO's way of saying that.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, because we got some comments on the YouTube video saying, no, she wasn't going to work. And, we just needed to clear that up for that person. There were some pretty rude
Yes,
comments.
she may have been going past her work, or stopping by to drop something off, but she was not going to work. She only worked, generally, she would work Friday and Sunday. And then Saturday was her day to go out and have fun. Well, this was a Sunday, and I can tell. Well, she had mentioned to me that she was working, so I knew she had worked the previous night and the night before that. So she would choose about 2 days, because she spent all of her time in the gym, or doing meal prep or putting together personal training programs for people. She was very dedicated to what she was doing, very dedicated how she ate, what she put in her body. Yeah, she did smoke some marijuana here and there, but
Yeah, everybody did. Oh, well, not everybody, but yeah.
Y'all,
yeah, I mean, I'm not judging her for that, and I hope, and I know some people will, and I know some people will judge her because she did work at a club a couple nights a week, but she didn't deserve to die.
Right.
She didn't
no.
deserve to be hit over the head and shot and burned alive for in any reason, no matter what. And sometimes we think that maybe because of the environment that she was in every once in a while, that she may have overseen something, overheard something. Mercedes was a good person. She was a good kid. She didn't, she always looked out for other people. She always wanted to take care of the underdog. She always wanted to protect people. She wouldn't ever do anything that would purposely hurt someone else, except maybe her siblings and me, just by saying mean things. But she would never, her, what she was in life to so many people was this pillar of strength, and a person for people to turn to when they were afraid. And somebody may have confided something in her and saying that they were afraid, and maybe that's why she's not here anymore.
Yeah. Did she have any or mention anybody that was following her, maybe from the club, a stalker? I mean, do you know if she mentioned that any like thing like that to her friends?
She, one of her friends said that she mentioned that she had a stalker, and it was just shortly before she was killed. But unfortunately, we were out of town. Um, if she ever felt unsafe in any way, she would always tell me or tell my husband. And we would always do everything we could to make sure that she was safe. You know, okay, where are you going? Share your location. What time are you leaving? Talk to us on FaceTime as you walk out to your car. Um, Anything like that. And unfortunately, we were flying back that night from the Caribbean, and we were flying over her house right at the same time as she was being taken. And it kills my husband and I to think, what if we would have stopped and we could have stopped it? But she might still be here. But we know she knew how to protect herself, that she felt safe where she was going. She felt safe in her home, in her garage.
I don't think you and Tom should ever blame yourselves for what happened. You guys didn't know what was going on. Mercedes didn't know what was going on. I mean,
I know. It's just hard. Yes, when you're
Yeah.
somebody's mom, all you want to do is protect them.
Yeah.
Don't mess with mama.
Exactly. Do not mess with mom. Man. Well, Erica, I'm really glad that law enforcement is communicating with you and like they put out the 911. That was a shocker to us.
Yeah.
I really hope that they will give you some more answers and soon.
That body camera footage I was told should be out. It's probably going to be today or tomorrow.
Is that going to be released to the public or
Yeah,
just?
it will. It'll be released to the public. I spoke with them on Thursday, and they said that they were still going through, and like I said, covering some. It's the hardest part that they can do is to show all that they can, but blur out things that people should never see.
Yeah.
Have you guys already seen it?
What's that?
Have you and Tom already saw the video or no?
No, we have not.
Okay.
I think she was saying tomorrow or the next day, possibly.
Yeah, they said it. It could have been as early as yesterday, or today, but most likely tomorrow or near the end of the week. It just takes them a while to go in and take things out of there when it comes to blurring things. I guess it's a lot more difficult than just blacking something off of a statement or something. It's pixelation and how do you show it and all that kind of stuff. So,
Well, it sounds like they're finally stepping up and getting things moving.
well, the only reason I believe that they are is because of people like you and the people that watch your show and the people that share this and the people that care about the community and the people around them. And like I said before, I'm just so grateful and I thank you so much for standing behind us. And
Yeah. We stand behind you 100%. More than that. We're here for you.
1,000%. And I
Yeah.
really do appreciate you keeping in touch with us and keeping us updated as well.
Yeah. As far as that, other evidence coming in should be about a month before we're able to share any of that information. But it sounds like it can be pretty important.
Good.
And all we can hope for is an arrest and conviction, and that anybody listening that can think back about anything that seems a little off or strange or about that day and calling silent witness and just telling them everything even if it doesn't seem significant at the time. Mercedes was 5'10". She was tall, very tall. So you noticed her when she walked in. She was thin, she was built, she was fit. If anybody at the Aubrey has video or remember seeing something or seeing, a strange vehicle around there, especially that 2018 Chevy Malibu, it's really, really important.
Yep. Another question. The 911 caller, was he a truck driver?
Yeah, he was driving hazardous material. I'm not sure where he was coming from, but he was headed to LA. And you hear him call the 911 operator, who transfers him to DPS because it's a car on fire on the side of the road. And the emergency people don't, anything that happens on the road, and I know this because I was a 911 operator, you immediately transfer to the Department of Public Safety because you don't want that catching fire. And so once it was transferred over to the Department of Public Safety, you hear the second part of that call, and he says there's something burning in the back seat and there's a person walking around.
That's important.
So I'm actually in the process right now of transcribing the two together, because together it gives quite a bit more information. So I'm going through and just what he says to when he calls 911 and then they transfer him to DPS, and then what he says to DPS and the mile marker, and that, I mean, that's a busy freeway. And he also says, and this is also very important, it's off on the side of the road in the ditch. He says in the ditch.
Wow.
So we think she pulled it, hit somebody, kicked somebody. They went down in that ditch. She spoiled whatever plans they had going on there. And that's why you can drive along, the I-10 and any of the freeways in Arizona and see burn marks all alongside of the road, because it just happens so much here that they call it a barbecue,
It's true.
It's just their tires or whatever. But this, you hear him say there's something on fire in the back seat. He doesn't say the car is on fire, and he says it's down and off into the ditch, and it's about 25 feet off the road, almost like it crashed there. So
I know that some trucks have dash cams. Have they checked that out?
it wasn't given the information if there was a dash cam or not.
Okay.
Um,
I don't know what difference it was.
I would assume, but I don't know this.
Yeah.
Carrying hazardous materials might be a reason why you would have a dash cam.
Mm-hmm. What I'm thinking is, since he said that he saw somebody walking around the car, if he's got a dash cam, he might have more footage of this person.
Absolutely.
If he does, that would be nice if they would turn that in to law enforcement.
Right. Yep. Yeah. If it was a company truck? Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a company truck. He was driving a hazmat vehicle. He has an extremely common name, but I know that law enforcement has spoken to him. They will not tell me whether or not they have that footage, or if there even was a dash cam. But you would think, I mean, not every state would probably require it, but with hazmat laws and all I've learned from working in the airline industry and hazardous materials, and that most of them are recorded. But I believe he was carrying gasoline, or he was carrying fuel of some sort. So therefore he was, they're trained not to stop.
Right.
Because obviously, especially if it was like aviation gas or something, it could just be, catastrophe. If that, but he said there's something burning in the back of the vehicle, in the back seat, and I saw someone walking around. So I'm in the middle of transcribing all that. I tried to start it this weekend, and I just decided I needed to go and drink wine in my pool for a while instead. But it's hard to do, and but putting those two together brings so much more to light, just to me, because I know how the operations of that work, that I think it's extremely important. And he does say it's a male walking around the vehicle.
Yeah.
Wow. That's extremely important.
Yeah.
I do hope that the truck had dash cam, and I do hope that law enforcement looked into that as well, because that could be important.
I mean, most trucks do, but if it was 25 yards off to the right, it may not be recorded on the dash cam.
Yeah. If it was, then yeah, that would help out a lot.
If they have this person swerving all over the road because my daughter's kicking them in the back of the head while they're driving, that would be great too.
Yeah.
So I know she fought, and I know that's why she's no longer alive. Because like we said before, their plan was to kill her. Why not just shoot her in the parking garage? What were you trying to do? What were you trying to get out of her? Were you trying to get out of her something that she just absolutely did not know, and you thought she did, and she just, did not have the answer for you, and you didn't like what she had to say, or you didn't believe her, or did she laugh in your face? You know, I don't know. My kid was tough. She was strong. She was feisty. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind, and she was never afraid to protect someone.
I was watching some of her videos on her Instagram, and I was just amazed at her. She's beautiful, perfect, strong. I mean, everything that you've said, and I was just in awe. you know, it's yeah, she's a beautiful girl.
She just had a huge heart. She loved her family.
Mm,
She
yeah,
loved her cousins, and she loved her grandparents, and her, especially her new baby niece and her siblings. And she knew that we loved her no matter what.
yeah,
And it gave her confidence and strength. And sometimes I used to tell her, I said, you never ever throw the first punch, but you can throw the last, baby girl. You throw the last, okay? And every time she would get in trouble at school, I'd say, who was she protecting? And she was
right.
always protecting someone that didn't have the ability to protect themselves. And she would stand up, and she would talk until she was blue in the face, telling someone why they're wrong for what they're doing, especially someone who's bullying someone.
It sounds like she stood up for what was right.
That's exactly what she did.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what she was doing. Maybe she found out something somebody was doing that was very wrong, and
Mm-hmm.
she was planning on standing up and doing the right thing,
Yeah.
and they didn't like that.
I told Muncie, what, about a week or two ago, that I have a strong gut feeling that something big is going to happen within the next month or two. And I still have that feeling.
I'm glad. Me too.
We're crossing our fingers big time. But in the meantime, we're still going to share everything out. And hopefully, I'm really hoping somebody will just come forward. Or just like, that night say, you know what, I remember that. I got to call silent witness, or I got to, I can give this information. Somebody's got to know something or saw something.
Yeah.
So,
Or even like going by on the train, going, that's weird. Why is that car right in the middle of the road? And that was her car.
mhm,
That was her Charger. And we're pretty sure that her wallet and her phone were in there because that's her last known location. So her 2019 Dodge Charger would have been the one in the middle of the road near the Culinary Dropout, well, on Farmer Avenue. But that, the tram system goes right past there. And even if somebody looked out and thought, well, that's weird, why is that car there? But it was in the middle of the road. It wasn't an expired meter. It was in the middle of the road.
is Culinary Dropout, is that a restaurant?
Yes.
And what do you know what time they close?
They close pretty late. I think they're up until almost 4 a.m.
Whoa.
That's
So
late.
there are people out there.
Oh, there's people all over the place. That's the hardest part about this is Culinary Dropout is in one of the busiest college towns, probably the busiest college town right on that street in Arizona.
And, the people, if there were people that saw something, they could be scared to come forward. That's why silent witnesses is available.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially if, they were underage drinking or they were, they have a previous record or, and they're just walking by with their friends and they're all just, filming and they happen to catch it, out of the corner that her car down there creating that timeline and or seeing it drive by and the LUV333 license plate on Mercedes car, the 2019 Dodge Charger, um, is a noticeable because it's a vanity plate. Um, and like I said, I don't know if the Malibu also was in that area. I don't know. They won't tell me.
Mhm.
And It's also so important that people are aware. And because it's a college town, sometimes these kids are like, well, gosh, I'm, 19. I don't want to get involved in this. You don't have to be involved in any way. You can just call that number. They'll give you an email address if you want to just email something that you are not connected to in any way. You will receive the reward on a card that does not have your name on it. We are doing our best to add to that because Silent Witness is offering $2,000. That's not enough, I don't think, for a scared young professional to speak up and say something. We're trying to get it up to 20 because I think that might be enough to motivate somebody that can go, okay, now I can at least move out of the apartment that I live in that I got this video from or whatever. We just want people to be safe. We don't want this to happen to anyone else. And we want people to understand that even if you were doing something wrong at that point, like I said, underage drinking or out past curfew or whatever it is that it might happen to be that you're worried about, you don't have to worry about that. They do it completely anonymously and you will not be charged.
This is my opinion. I don't think this was random. I think it was target. She was a target. But this is just my opinion. I could be wrong.
We go back and forth.
Yep. Yeah.
When we did the Nancy Grace episode, we did another episode with the former FBI lead agent. And the scariest part about this is we believe she was targeted just because of who she was, what she looked like, because she was a young person, where she was, where she works, maybe what she said. But this is the makings, according to the FBI, of a sloppy serial killer or potential serial killer who's gotten away with this and found this exciting. And because of the fact that they're still out there walking around, it's even more terrifying because it ignites more in them to try to go further and try to do worse.
Yeah. And with so many people on their phones, especially, if culinary dropout is everywhere. Oh, the other thing, when her car was left there, was it running?
I asked that question. They said no, it wasn't running when it was found, but that doesn't surprise me because it probably didn't have any gas in it. Because Mercedes never put gas in her car.
She waited to the last minute to put gas in her car.
It was on E every time I got in her car. It was ding, 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 ding.
Oh, we would have gotten along great.
Yeah, she hated to put gas in her car. And every time I ever got in her car, and I used to think she did it on purpose just so I would fill up her tank for her. But then I realized she really never has any gas because all of her friends say she never had gas in her car. She would get bored. She'd, stand there and wait for 4 minutes and she'd be like, oh, I'm done with this. And unless we filled up her car, I don't think that car was ever filled. Or she'd taken it to, get the oil changed and they fill it up and wash it and all that. But it may have been, it was not running when it was found by the Tempe Police Department. And that is their real only involvement in this, is that they were the ones that found her vehicle and called me. And it's been unfortunate that people have been told to call the Tempe Police Department because they're not investigating this case. It's the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. And they've been put in a bad light, but it was only a day later that I received that call telling me, ma'am, you need to move your car.
Yeah.
And because I had co-signed for her vehicle, and it may have not been running because it was out of gas. It may have not been running because the keys weren't in it, and the person who took her car there, took her keys, thinking they were going to go back in her apartment. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I had more information on that, but um,
That was my next question. If the cars were the keys were still in the ignition or in the car.
yeah, he couldn't tell me when I asked him that a couple of days ago. He said, I can't tell you that information.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, if she had gotten into her own vehicle, which I believe she went, walked down to her parking garage, I think she got in her vehicle, and was either pulled out or she was getting into her vehicle because she was hit over the head from behind because of the way you can see the splatter of blood. It reaches over one other full parking space and into another.
Do you think she could have driven the car to Kone Dropout
No.
and they followed her? Okay.
Uh-uh.
So she was okay.
Not with all the blood that was there.
Okay. So there wasn't any blood found inside the car, like she had driven it.
I don't know. They have not told me if there was blood found inside the car. I don't know what vehicle she was shot in or if she was shot outside of a vehicle. I believe that she was getting into her own vehicle, but um that
That got stopped.
that's all I know. I think she was either getting into her own vehicle or she had gotten in and they had pulled her out because it's obvious she was hit outside of her vehicle
Okay.
just because of what was left on the ground and the post by where her car is parked in her parking garage.
And there was no damage to her car.
I don't have an answer to that. No,
Okay.
I don't have a um I don't have a yes or no on
That's
that.
yeah. Now who's got the car? Does the
Maricopa County Sheriff's Office has the car.
okay.
Uh, I'm assuming it was probably left there in the middle of the road. I think it was running, but that's just my opinion. I don't know that. Hoping it would be stolen. However, nobody went back there and took that car. They probably thought, oh, bait car. I don't think so. Who leaves a 2019, beautiful Dodge Charger in the middle of the street running with the door wide open? And I don't even know if that's the situation, but I think it was just left there and left alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then maybe it ran out of gas, which I know my daughter, I'm sure it ran out of gas. And then they said, ma'am, you can't park here. And the way that they said it to me was like I was inside, like I was just inside. Come out here, come get your car.
Mhm.
You know, the way it was stated to me by Tempe police was like, come get your vehicle. Like they weren't even going to tow it. That's how great they were being about this. But
Yeah.
they were, ma'am, come get your car. And I was so confused. I had just found out my daughter was dead. We had just found out on the news that she was burned.
You
I
found
thought
that out. You found that out from the news.
Yeah,
we
they
found
looked it up online, and that's how they found out everything.
That's right. I do remember you. Oh my god, that is not the way to find out something.
we found out we saw the last moments of her life when she walked out of her parking garage on TikTok.
Do you know if there's more to that video?
I know there's more. I haven't seen it.
Okay, that's right. I did ask you that. I didn't know, and also I didn't know if there were more cameras around in that garage or if that was the only one. Yeah.
There aren't very many cameras in that garage.
Mhm.
I have a video that one of her neighbors took coming out of that elevator vestibule, walking straight out to her parking spot, which is the exact way she would have gone. And you only see one, maybe two cameras. There are no cameras. Well, there might be now, but there are no cameras on the outside of that apartment complex.
Mhm.
So if someone was sitting watching her, if you pulled into her parking complex and you parked up on the top without going into the parking garage, you could see her apartment. So if someone wanted to watch her at that moment, they could have. To see, when she turned off her light, when did she, shut her curtains, so it's a possibility that someone could have been sitting there. Like we would mention that she maybe had been targeted. And I believe she was in some respect, that it wouldn't have been too difficult to figure out which apartment was hers if you watched her go in, then watched the light come on, and then realize what apartment was hers, and then know, okay, the light went off. She's not going to bed at 9 p.m. She's going out. So
And that was a Sunday, you said?
it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
Were they by chance able to gain access to her phone by any chance or no?
I don't know how I did this. I was able to get into her phone.
Oh, good.
We had not too many chances. Apple is very, very strict with their rules
Oh yeah.
as far as who can get into someone's phone and can't. And they did not have her phone at the time. I know that when they came here and told us she was dead, they did not have her phone. After I got the call from Tempe police saying, "Ma'am, move your car," and I freaked out on the poor police officer or meter maid or whoever it was. And they said, "You're trying to tell me this is part of a homicide?" Then they wouldn't tell me where her car was or anything like that. But then all of a sudden, I got the call, "Do you know the passcode to her phone?"
Oh.
From MCSO. So I'm putting 2+2 and assuming that her phone was in her car.
Yeah.
Or she threw it, or it was right there next to her car, or if she was even there. That's why I feel like she got into her vehicle and then had all of her things put in there and then either got pulled out or somebody was standing in front of her car or she got out and was like, "What, move?" or like, "What are you doing?" Or what if she was just protecting someone in the parking garage? There's so many different scenarios that could be happening. But I was able, my niece and I together went through everything we could think of. We only had a certain number of chances to get into it, and somehow we figured out what her passcode was.
Cool. No, MCSO still has her phone?
They have her phone, they have her car, they have her wallet, they have all of her things. They have the bag she was carrying when she came off the elevator. They told us we will never ever see that vehicle again, and we'll never see her phone again, and we'll never and that was hard too, because we we're getting constant calls, "You need to pay your car payment."
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I'm not paying on a car I can never ever drive again and never ever see.
How
Can
does
they do that?
How does that work?
Well, so 2 years, I guess, is a statute for trial or whatever before, but it's obviously going to be used as evidence. So any evidence involved in a first-degree murder and first-degree kidnapping, possible death penalty trial has to be held for 15 years.
Wow.
For the defense to look at evidence, especially if it is a death penalty trial. If they want to get any other information or DNA or anything from it, um, they have to hold it for at least 15 years in order for the defense to be able to draw back on that evidence.
Wow.
Um,
Even if it's the whole case has been solved, they would keep it for 15 years.
yes, because anyone who is convicted of that crime and is facing the death penalty has 15 years, like I said, to go and dispute.
To appeal.
You know, so that's just why we'll never see her phone or her car. And that's why I was telling Capital One, I said, I don't want to pay on this car. It was stolen. So
Yeah.
use the gap insurance.
Yeah. Wow.
And they were able to pay off the remainder of the car.
We paid it for about 4 or 5 months. And then the gap insurance paid off the rest of the vehicle.
Good.
But it took a lot of tears and a phone call 2 or 3 times a day asking to speak to my dead baby.
Oh my God.
And just, you know, a lot of really ugly things and things that they haven't dealt with. And I'm like, can you put like a red headline across her account? Like, this is something that is being worked on and looked into.
Yeah. I know. Did she have any credit cards? Because I know that they can note the account.
She did have a credit card.
Yeah.
It had not been used, and it was actually in her apartment. So I have that card. Her bank card, it took us a little while to cancel, but as far as we know, nothing was spent on. The last thing that we saw that she spent money on was coffee.
Give her a second.
Okay. I used to work for credit card fraud and a big bank, and we would note the account, you know, and we would look in the notes. And if we had to call a customer, we'd look at the notes. That would be the first thing that we look at. I can't imagine getting a credit call. You know, look at the notes. I'm sorry. I mean, this is kind of off topic,
Yeah.
but
Well, that's what.
Yeah, but
That's my fault. Sorry, guys.
that's okay. Matt, did you want to? Well, I'll ask Erika because we can download this and we can also upload this to YouTube
Right.
as more information if Erika wants us to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit this video. Edit the beginning of the video out, and then go to the point where Erika came in.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Did we lose her? Okay, Erika.
I'm here.
I don't know if you heard us, but we were talking. Would you mind if we downloaded this and uploaded it to YouTube?
That's fine.
Okay, all right. Because we talked a lot about more stuff here than we did in the original interview with you.
We did. And I know Matt wanted to ask a question, and I might have to be a little bit careful on how I respond, but go ahead, Matt.
Now, you received a call 2 weeks ago from MCSO Advocate looking for Mercedes. Would you like to talk about that?
So the communication sometimes between the parties that are supposedly investigating my daughter's murder obviously isn't the greatest information freeway. I received a phone call. Gosh, has it been 2 weeks? I guess it has. 2 weeks Thursday. Asking to speak to Mercedes because they couldn't find her, and they wanted to let her know about some things that were happening with an older case from previous. Unfortunately, I cannot go into those details.
Understandable.
The only thing I can say is that if anybody has any information about a previous situation Mercedes was involved with, or in, not with, or a victim of, to please call the silent witness line.
And I only see. Hi, Cindy. We have 19 people in here, but sometimes there are people that watch through the. There could be other people watching that we don't know.
Right.
So if you are watching, and I'm speaking directly to you, if you're watching through the back door, whatever they call it, please, and you know information, please call silent witness, please, because I know somebody knows something. I know it.
They do. Somebody knows something or someone that can solve this.
Even if somebody has video that they could have been recording at culinary dropout, and they're not even aware. If you were in that area, if you were at culinary dropout at that time, if you were recording or you saw something, come forward. Erika, she had a particular license plate. What was it? Love
LUV 333.
Yep. Somebody has something.
Also, anyone driving down the Maricopa, the I-10 towards LA on the night of April 16th, morning of April 17th, seeing anything off the side of the road near mile marker 85, or what they call, oddly enough, the Burnt Wells rest stop. That if people have dash cam, or people swerving on the road, or people trying to get away from other people, or weaving in and out of cars, it might not seem like a big deal, but it very much well could be. Also, I know that there's been some speculation about where she worked, and that there had been some issues with some other entertainment clubs that were doing some shady things. We do not believe that Lay Girls, where she worked, had any implication in this whatsoever, and that they have been 1,000% cooperative, and given all the information, and that it doesn't have anything to do with where she worked. It may be an associate of someone who had gone in there and met her or seen her, but it really ultimately could be anything from a blooming serial killer to this being as evil as cartel or trafficking, or even a case of mistaken identity.
Right now, anything's possible.
Yeah.
But you'll get your answers. I know you will.
Thank you. I hope so.
And we're trying. We're really trying.
I know you are. Appreciate it.
Yes. Now, where I live, I've told you where I live. I live out towards Casa Grande.
Yes.
There's a road. Let me just ask you this. Has anybody put up a memorial?
Yes.
Okay. That was my next question. Because if it wasn't done, I was going to see if we could do it.
There is a small one. I haven't been out to it yet.
Okay.
One of her very, very close friends made one, and it's a beautiful white cross with white flowers, and but we everything between mile marker 79 and 97 has been mentioned, because it is, we know, about 25 yards off the road. It may have gone through a fence. There is what's called the Camelback Mountain Road that runs along the I-10, and it's just barely over. It's not too far off of the road. Uh, but if you're going to put her out there, I mean, if you were intelligent, bury her in the desert and don't leave a vehicle there. Something didn't go right, something went wrong. But when it comes to there being a memorial, I believe that her friend Zay put it at mile marker 85, and that is where it was confirmed to me the other day that that's the milepost. And it's about half a mile west, so it's like 85 and a half on the north side of the road. So I don't know if we've got one in the correct place, but it on her death certificate it says milepost 85, but what I was told by MCSO was it's about a half a mile west of the Burnt Wells Salome Road area, and that's kind of a there's a rest stop near there, and it was about 25 yards off the road on the north side if you were heading west.
Well, if I drive by there, I will put some flowers there for her.
Thank you.
Of course. Because, this case is really, it's really stuck with us. Mercedes has stuck with us. You have, Tom has, and you guys are in our hearts. You're in our thoughts. And
Go inside. Sorry, she knows to bark when Amazon shows up.
Smart dog.
I know. Well, she only gets a treat if there's actually a package.
Wow. Did Erika have any pets?
Mercedes?
Yes, I'm sorry. Did Mercedes have any pets?
She didn't at the time that she died.
Okay.
But I mean, Honey was hers. Our dog Honey, she's 16. She's Mercedes' pet. That's who you hear barking.
Oh.
Mercedes loved animals so much. She loved babies, and all animals and babies loved her. And I mean, any kind of animal loved her. It was crazy. From anything from an octopus grabbing onto her arm in the ocean to where when she swam, dolphins would show up, to horses thinking that they were dogs and trying to get in the car with her, just and then when she was young and we would go to church, and she'd volunteered in the nursery, and she was only 8 at the time, 8 or 9, and they wouldn't let kids that young take care of the newborns, except for the fact that Mercedes was the only one that could get some of them to stop crying. So she had special permission to be there and hold those infants that couldn't be soothed. Mercedes had the ability to do that.
Yeah. Animals know. Babies know.
Yeah.
They know. But Erika, is there anything else that you'd like to share, or?
I just miss her, and I just know that I'm so worried that there's someone up there that's gonna experience the worst possible thing that could happen to them if we don't get these people. If we don't stop this, it's not gonna stop.
Right. Yep.
It's gonna happen to the next person.
What was that?
It's gonna happen to somebody else. If nothing gets solved, then it's gonna happen to somebody else.
Everything from, this person's thinking, I got away with this. What can I do now? And that there truly is horrible, complete evil that exists here in this world. But there are, and it's this horrible, horrible lesson I've learned over the last 13 and a half months. Not only is that true, but there are some incredibly amazing, beautiful people that exist out there too. And we need to
watch out, and we need to be vigilant, and we need to protect each other, and we need to protect each other's children.
Mhm.
And they say it takes a village. It takes all of the people who care about kids to, if something looks weird and you're uncomfortable, call the police and have them take care of it. But don't just ignore it and keep driving on, because something could be very, very, very wrong.
Right. They always say if you see something, say something. That's, you know.
Like airport jargon, but yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. But
So
yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you for all that you've done. And I just ask that if you can't, if you don't have anything, to add or whatever, just please share and be kind to people, because you never know what they're going through.
Exactly.
You never know what someone's just been through.
Mm-hmm.
So be as kind as you can. Obviously, we all have bad days, and we all need days for the people to be kind to us and understanding to us.
Mm-hmm.
But the number one most important thing out there right now is we got to look out for each other.
Mm-hmm. Yes, especially in this world right now. Everything's going crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Erica. I'm so glad you came in. It was a little surprise to see that you came in.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
When I saw you, I got chills.
Well, I feel like we cleared some things up, and I apologize. It's a Malibu. It's a Malibu. It's Malibu.
I wrote that down. A 2018 white Malibu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there is a picture of it online somewhere.
There is. I can't. I have it here. I printed it off. Maybe I could snap it and send it to you.
You can send it to Matt if you
Yeah, I'll
need
send
to.
it to Matt.
Yeah.
I think I might have already, but
Yeah, I have the picture of the car.
okay. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
important, because I'm assuming since it's a salvage vehicle, it still looks like that.
Matt, is there a way that you are we able to show it, Erica? Are we allowed to do that?
You're allowed to show
Well,
that, yes.
I mean, it's
public
online,
information.
so I mean, Matt, if you have it, I'd like for everybody to.
Are you
It's
talking about Mercedes vehicle, or are you talking
well,
about?
both. You can show both, but I'm talking about the salvaged vehicle.
Yeah, the salvaged.
Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Give him a minute.
Yeah, that would be the one. That's the one she was found burned in. Is that? And I know it's confusing. They're both white, but that front end damage looks pretty bad, and I can see why it's considered totaled. But Mercedes car was in pristine condition. Her Dodge Charger. She had the good rims on it. She took care of it. It always, except for putting gas in it.
Did she have the license plate blinged out?
It was blinged out. She also had, and I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but I just thought about it. Lights inside her car, to where like bling lights, we got them for her for the previous Christmas, and they would go to the beat of her music.
Oh, how cool.
So, and you might have thought, what an annoying person, but with this person bumping their music next to me, but it may help identify her vehicle.
It sounded like
that one right there. That's the Malibu.
There you go.
That's the one she was found dead in. That's the one she was burned in.
I can't make it any smaller.
Well, it kind of. I don't know if you can show the front again.
1 second.
So, if anyone had seen that car driving around, it should not have been. There you go.
Yeah, and this is pictures from the previous owner.
Yes.
When they got into their accident. So this is not
owner.
right. So these are pictures way prior to when she was found in it. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yes.
And I mean, does that? I don't know if it's.
There you go. That's a
I
good
don't-
one.
I guess that would be drivable,
It probably was. It probably wouldn't have been the smartest thing to drive.
right?
You know, I'm assuming the hood could come up if you're driving with the wind getting caught underneath it, or you know, it may sputter, but I mean, the tire looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see why it's considered totaled. It may have tweaked it to where the engine was like off kilter, and you know, could.
And that's the only damage to the car.
From what we know, that's all I've seen.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've seen as far as the damage to the Malibu. Now, was it further damaged? I don't know. Is there more damage to the back? It's a possibility, but not that I know of.
And MCSO has this car as well.
MCSO has that car as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say the fortunate part about this. This is a real fun part, especially if you know the person that had something to do with this. That car barely burned.
Wow. So it was just inside the car.
It was just my daughter on fire.
That explains why the job was sloppy.
Yep. So the car wasn't on fire. My child was on fire.
Yeah, the frame could have been bent.
Yeah, probably.
But somehow they were able to drive it. And where the hell did they get it? I mean, that's
a really good question, and that's somebody knows. Somebody knows.
Yep.
It's somebody, like I said, you don't have to identify yourself.
Yeah, it is good.
This money can go right to you. We're trying to get this up to $20,000. Like, if you just happen to be the person working the gate at that day, and you know, oh, maybe it was. I mean, I don't know what salvage yard it was, but you know, so you saw something weird go down. That maybe that can hold you over till you get another job. I don't know. I understand, but I also don't want anyone else to be threatened.
Right.
I don't want anyone else to be afraid. And I get that these are not good people. These people can hit over the head, shoot, and burn someone alive, and pour bleach in their throat. I understand why you would be afraid, but you don't have to identify yourself. And no one ever has to know it was you, but you will get the money.
Yep, and the silent witness number is right there. What it's made for.
That's what it's for.
Exactly.
And we want to add to it because we know $2,000 isn't a huge motivation for someone who might be afraid.
Now, do you have the GoFundMe stuff listed? It is a GoFundMe, correct?
Yeah, it's a GoFundMe. Mercedes Vega. It might be under Erika Pillsbury. It might be under my name.
If you text me that link,
Okay.
I will go ahead and post that link in my bio for people to donate.
Okay.
And that's to add to the reward.
Yeah. Yeah. So we wanted to get it up to like at least 20.
I'm sorry.
We don't. We've had to use some here and there for certain things that we haven't been able to.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, the news stations actually they've covered.
It also states in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
I don't want people to think that we're just trying to. It's just sitting there. We're not using it. I mean, we used it for a couple of things, but only to put our daughter to rest in the way that she asked.
And have you contacted? Was it News Nation? Have you tried contacting them?
I have just reached out to them once on Twitter, but I've not spoken to anyone there specifically.
Okay.
I emailed News Nation yesterday, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. They have their contact information. They have my contact information.
Okay.
Matt, you know what? Matt has been doing so much, and I got to give him props. I really do.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, you're amazing at what you're doing and how you're helping. And you every day you shock me. Oh, Munchie, I got in contact with this. What? I never thought about that. So props to you, Matt. Seriously.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Matt, I'm gonna send you something else that I heard the other day. And you're so good at finding certain people online and who they are. This seems to be an important thing, and I can't say it on the cast, but I'm gonna send it to you privately, and maybe you can help kind of look into who that person might be.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Matt, I think you missed your calling.
No, I think Matt's gonna get the reward money.
Yeah.
I'm not here for the money. I'm just here to get justice for your daughter.
I know, but I told my husband, I was like, let's just all gonna go to Matt. Yeah.
No, he's not here for the money. We're not here for the money. We're here to get justice for Mercedes, and get you guys at peace. Or this is too long.
Maybe
A year?
importance. I should probably answer.
Yeah. But like
Yeah.
I said before, I'm so glad that law enforcement is communicating with you and Sheila. Yes, Arizona is getting bad. There are I could not believe how many people I've seen that are missing. Even not even just Arizona, but everywhere. People are just vanishing.
It's shocking to me how many
Yeah.
moms have reached out to me and said, my daughter went missing from Tempe, or my daughter was murdered in Tempe, or people that have said to me, I was almost kidnapped, I was chased, I was put in the same predicament as your daughter, but I was fortunate enough that somebody walked up and helped me.
Yeah. And Sheila, I lived there for a long. I grew up in Tempe, and that's my hometown. Come on.
Yeah.
I encourage everybody out there, if you plan on going out and about, please share your location with your loved one or somebody that you trust.
And be aware. Pay
Sheila,
attention.
get in touch with Matt or I. If you've got a person that's missing, get in touch. Get in touch with us,
Yeah.
and we can help you. I don't know if just to change the subject. I don't know if you've heard about that boy, the autistic boy that's went missing in Peoria.
No. Oh, not recently. A while ago?
He's been missing since April 8th. His name is Bradley Close. Right before you came in, we were talking about him.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I would have been on vacation, and then I haven't watched the news since Mercedes was murdered.
Yeah, his poster or his flyer, we have it on our pages, and also the last place he was seen was 75th Avenue in Jomax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was looking on a map, and there's New River that goes right through there.
Yep.
So, but yeah, we were talking about him, and I didn't know if you had heard about him. But there are so many people missing.
I haven't. I'm so sorry for his family.
Yeah. We're trying to get the word out about him, because nobody's talking about him.
That's awful. Why?
I don't know. I really don't know. There's a certain case that everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
And nobody else is getting coverage. So
I had a mom reach out to me and say her daughter was taken and was gone for 8 years. She got her daughter back.
Oh my gosh.
She almost wishes that she would have died because her daughter's not the same. That they had taken her and tortured her and injected her with bleach and drugs, and she's not the same person. And that it is almost worse and more painful that at least I can think my baby's okay. And she's got to worry because every day she doesn't know if her daughter's going to make it through that day because of all the hell she went through.
Was she trafficked
Yeah.
and she was taken from Arizona?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mm.
How can I ask how long ago that was? Like when was she found?
20, well, there's two different moms I've talked to. Both of them have gotten their daughters back. One got their daughter back 3 years ago, and one got their daughter back a year ago. One was gone for 3 years, and one was gone for 8.
Wow. That gives hope to the parents that are missing their children that have been trafficked. We work, we help spread awareness for human trafficking, sex
They
trafficking.
destroy them. They disfigure them.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
They addict them to horrible drugs.
Yep.
They do things to them that they can never, ever recover from.
Yeah.
And they treat them like they're less than garbage.
Yeah. Some of the things that we've heard is just unreal. Like, does that really exist? And it does. And we spread awareness. When I was watching the video of Mercedes coming out of the elevator in the garage, she was looking at her phone.
Yeah.
Situational awareness. I don't know if Saber's still in here, but Saber talks about situational awareness, and I talk to my friends all the time about situational awareness. Don't look on your phones if you're walking out of the store. If you see something on your car that's tied to your door handle, don't touch it.
Don't sit in your car and look up the address you're going to.
Right.
Look it up before you leave the store or before you leave your house.
Right.
Don't go in your car and look up a destination. I get chills when I think about that because when Mercedes talked about going to different places and how far away they were, I'm wondering if she was sitting in her car.
Anything, just be aware of your surroundings. Don't keep looking at your phone as you're walking. Even in the store, people are being followed in stores. I can't stress this enough. I tell this to all of my friends. I told it to my sister-in-law. She's like, what? I had no idea. So now she's spreading the word. And that's all we ask. Spread the word of just be aware of your surroundings.
If I can just say one last thing before I get off the phone here.
Yeah.
Bleach, I think somebody just pointed this out, seems to be a thing in Arizona. They will inject someone with bleach to confuse them, especially in the neck or the throat, which is where they found bleach in my daughter, because it can go to their brain faster and they become very confused. Also, they believe it helps cover DNA, which it doesn't always.
Right.
I mean, I hope that everyone thinks that it does, who's a criminal. Yes, okay, sure, bleach cures it all. But it actually doesn't. And when it comes to the use of bleach or homemade, not homemade, but just household goods, things like lighter fluid and bleach and hydrogen peroxide and just random things that they can, even just straight alcohol. It's a tactic that's being used more and more and more and more. I'm hearing it from moms of kidnapped children, moms of children who were trafficked. It's a very simple thing to buy. Also, the using the paint, the spray paint to force it in people's noses and mouths has been something that's been brought to my attention.
It's just sicker and sicker and sicker what these people will come up with. But some of those things are so easy to get. I mean, I can grab lighter fluid and bleach from my house right now.
Yeah, and we were talking about that in the live that we did. We were talking about bleach, and everybody's got bleach,
Yeah.
and
And gasoline
and the lighter fluid as well.
and propane
Anything.
and anything that they do. And syringes are easily accessible, which they should be for people who need them. But if you're using them for nefarious reasons,
Right.
it's way too easy to do. So please just be careful and warn your children and be vigilant, and don't sit in your car and don't sit in a parking garage, and plan your route before you go when you're surrounded by other people. Look out your garage. Make sure no one comes in while you shut the garage door. I mean, just be careful.
It's really sad that it's come to this, You can't feel comfortable around, just doing things that you normally do because of what's going on. But I think, Erika, we're going to let you go. I'm going to go. I so appreciate you being here. I really do. And if you have more updates and want to go live again, please let us know. We will. We'll be on it. We'll be Johnny on the spot for you. Are you still there? Okay. Right. And also, everybody in chat, thank you for being here. Just look at the videos on the Missing People Alert page. Share them. Get the word out. You can share them on. You don't have to share them just on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. There's probably look on Facebook for. Just go to Facebook and search Mercedes Vega. Share everything there, please.
If you guys have any information, please call Silent Witness 480-948-6377. If you want to learn any more information on this, go to my TikTok page. We have a video of the 911 call. We also have the flyer, which is what we have on right now that you guys can repost. We also have the interview, which you can look on our YouTube channel, which is in the link in the which is in our bio. You can also watch Nancy Grace's interview, which is Crime Stories with Nancy Grace, on YouTube as well to learn more about this.
Yep, we're getting
you guys all joining us.
Yep, we're getting her out there, and so are other people. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys, and I know that Erika and Tom appreciate it as well. I don't know if we lost Erika. I don't know if she's still there, but yeah, thank you guys for being here, and just follow us. If we go live again and we have more information, come in and watch. I don't know what else to say, Matt.
Thank you.
Out there, guys.
I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you.
Oh, we hear you. We can hear you now. Yeah, definitely. Erika, thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that you came in. And I don't know if you heard me, but if you ever want to go live again with more information, if anything you can share, please let us know and we will do it.
I appreciate it.
No
Thanks so much. I really appreciate you.
Much love to you guys. Big time.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, Erika. All right, guys. I think we're going to end the live, and I don't think you want to look at my face.
Stay out there, guys, and look out for one another.
Yeah, and Matt, I don't know if you want me to download it. If you want to download this, I can edit it. It's no big deal. I can. Oh, you know what? I'll go in later on and download it.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll edit it and then upload it to both of our YouTube channels.
Sounds good.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm still shocked that Erika was here. I'm so glad she came in. And I think that's it. Matt, you got anything else?
No, we'll talk later.
Okay. All right. Love you guys. And hasta luego. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.